And welcome back to AgriTalk. It's day number 2 of World Dairy Expo here at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison, Wisconsin. Mark Clarke is with us, General Manager of World Dairy Expo. And I know you're smiling. You're off to a great start. Big crowd yesterday.
Yeah, it was a great day yesterday. We had 14,404 people, which is the largest first day crowd we've had in over a decade as far as I could go back and find. So really excited about that, and I think it shows the optimism in the dairy industry right now.
Were you concerned coming in? It's not been the best of years. We had a drought, high feed prices, and some tough times for the dairy industry. Were you concerned that that might hold down your crowd somewhat this year?
I don't know if concerned is the right word. It was more curious, or yes, to answer your question, we were really wondering what was going to happen. But what we found is this almost seems to be a getaway for a lot of these producers. They get here and, you know, they've been a tough year. It just like a smile comes on their face. It's 1 week of almost a vacation, relax, get away from all that kind of stuff. You're concentrating on, you know, the cattle show, that type of stuff, if you're a producer, and that's going to be there when you get home. You know, so it's almost just relieved to get here for the week.
Now, what about your cattle shows? What kind of numbers do you have there?
You know, right now we're still checking cattle in, but based off of the pre-entry numbers, they're going to be almost identical to where they were last year. We're expecting right around 2,600 head on grounds this week.
That's great, and then it really builds as this week goes and heads into the weekend.
Yeah, it really does. You know, we end up the week Friday and Saturday with the Holstein show, which is obviously our biggest show of the 7 breeds, and then Saturday night we end up with the Supreme Ceremony, and you know, it's usually common around 4,000 or 5,000 people watch the Supreme Ceremony on Saturday night, so it's a pretty big event for us.
I mentioned in the outset, this really is a world event. You have visitors, you have exhibitors from around the world here.
Yeah, we do, and that's something that we're really proud of, is that makes us realize that, and one thing it makes us do is make sure that we can bring the best quality product to those exhibitors. If you're taking the time to travel 20 hours on an airplane to get here, boy, we better deliver a product that makes it worth your time getting here. So we make sure we have the best companies, the best products, the best cattle, and just the best experience for the 5 days that you're in Madison.
And your exhibit area is, what, over 800 companies?
Yeah, I think last count we're around 860 companies. We added some space out in the New Holland Trade Center this year, so we have a big waiting list of over 200 companies still. We're trying to pick away at that, and this was able to allow us to do that a little bit this year.
A waiting list, that's a good problem to have.
It's a good problem to have, but a frustrating problem. You know, so what it does allow us to do is to really make sure that we have the best products and the best companies here. You know, we don't need 57 companies that have rubber mats. You know, so we make sure we look at the list and make sure that if you're coming, whether you're coming from 100 miles away or 5 miles away, that you're not wasting your time when you come to Dairy Expo.
Now, some of your exhibitors are outside, so they're enjoying this weather today. It may be a little different later in the week.
Yeah, we'll take, you know, one day at a time, but yesterday and today have been beautiful. I think we're going to get a little bit chilly weather later in the week. You know, it's one of those, not the best for the commercial exhibitors, but the cattle exhibitors love those cool days and those cool nights. It's better for the cattle, so it's their day we'll take whatever we get. We got a lot of inside space here too, so weather usually doesn't affect us all that much.
And nobody's going to complain too much about getting some rain this year because it's so needed. The good weather, were you also thinking, well, some farmers may be in their fields and may not be able to come?
You know, we think about that every year, but this year so many guys are so far ahead because they started, you know, 3 weeks ago or maybe even a month ago, so I don't think that's going to affect us. And then the other thing you look at is what's the next 7-day forecast. We're going to have a little bit of rain here maybe Thursday, but then after that it looks like you're, you know, 60 degrees and sunny, so it's not going to kill you to get away for 1 day.
Now, have you changed anything with this year's show? I mean, I see technology at play more and more. You're able to, even for those that can't be here, can almost be a part of World Dairy Expo.
Yeah, we've really, between the social media and we're, you know, for several years now we've broadcast the show across the web, so you can sit on your desk or your home computer, and we've made some enhances to that, and you still can't taste the grilled cheese sandwiches, and you can't walk across the colored shavings, but we're trying to do everything we can, if you can't make it this year, to make it feel like you're here. Even leading up to it on our social media, our Facebook page, you know, kind of leading people into it. So we're doing all that we can do from a technology standpoint to help people enjoy it the best they can if they can't be here.
I mentioned yesterday, to help kick things off, you had Secretary Vilsack here.
Yeah, we're really excited for him to come. I spent quite a bit of time here, did a nice town hall forum meeting. it just kind of showed us that if he's going to take the time and spend this much time here, we must be delivering a quality product that he's interested in. And you know, he really, through his talking yesterday, is concerned about the dairy industry, and he knows that it needs to get addressed, and there's other things that he needs to get addressed out in Washington. So we're really excited to have him here.
I know you really work to make sure this is the showcase for the dairy industry.
Yeah, we really do. We want to make it, again, we want to make this the best experience. When you come to town, you come to Madison. A lot of these cattle exhibitors and a lot of these companies put hundreds of thousands of dollars into these booths and these displays. They're trucking these cattle 30 hours and spending a lot of money to get here. So we're really obligated to give them the best experience and hopefully the best return on investment if they're going to spend 5 days with us.
Thanks, Mark.
Great to have you here again.
Mark Clarke, General Manager of World Dairy Expo. This is quite an important event, too, for Madison and this surrounding area. We'll talk about that when we come back with more from World Dairy Expo at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison, Wisconsin. This is AgriTalk. Welcome back to AgriTalk at World Dairy Expo in Madison, Wisconsin. And joining us again is Mark Clarke, General Manager of World Dairy Expo. Mark, you mentioned about 14,400 yesterday on opening day. How many do you hope for the entire run of the show?
You know, based off the first day and our say 5 to 6 year history, we're going to be somewhere in that probably 65 to 70,000 is what we'll bring through the gates in the next 5 days.
Now, when you bring that many people here into Madison, that's going to have an economic impact on this community and the surrounding area.
It really does, and something we're really proud of. World Dairy Expo has about a $50 million economic impact for the state of Wisconsin and creates about 700 jobs. So it's a big event, and it's something that we're really proud of, and we think we can even grow that more as we go forward.
You, I know, have kind of focused on really trying to showcase Madison and Wisconsin and use this event as a platform to do that.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people, don't even say we're going to World Dairy Expo. Most people say we're going to Madison. And we've put an effort on the last couple of years to really get the city of Madison to embrace the show and other events that come to Alliant Energy Center. And instead of looking at it as, oh man, look at all these trailers that are on the Beltline, this is so important. And it's such an educational possibility for a lot of the school kids and a lot of younger people in Madison, so we really try and play off that the best we can and bring the 4th grade kids in and school kids, FFA kids, bring them on grounds and see here's the future of the dairy industry.
Great educational opportunity. And back to the economic impact, you bring all these people in here, the hotels, the restaurants, I mean, it's big business for them.
Yeah, they love us, let's put it that way. You know, it's not a secret that people stay more than an hour away to get in a hotel, and it's a really neat thing to have, and it's really neat when the restaurants and the bars and that kind of stuff, you know, they're all wearing the Welcome to Expo pin, and our goal is to, it doesn't matter if you're here on Alliant Energy Center, if you go down on campus, you go to the west side of town, that you're experiencing Dairy Expo wherever you go. Kind of the Olympics when it's in your town. Everybody embraces it. That's kind of my goal and my vision to get that is Madison embraces this, and you want to come to Madison a second time, maybe in January. You want to come back in spring, and that's kind of a vision that I have.
And you know, for a lot of us that don't live in Wisconsin, we might think, do you really need to promote dairy in Wisconsin? I mean, it's all around them. But what we're seeing throughout the country, throughout rural America with agriculture, even in our rural communities, we need to do a better job of promoting agriculture and explaining agriculture.
We really do. You know, it's no secret the number of dairies are decreasing. You know, in Wisconsin now we're under 13,000 dairies total. Our cow numbers are staying strong, but with the way that the rural community is coming into the city, I think we got to do a better job of promoting not only dairy but agriculture in general to the city folks and realizing how important it is to the community. And someday, you know, we need to make sure we can go to the store and buy a gallon of milk, and it doesn't come from the store; it comes from the cow.
Yeah, explaining to them where their food comes from and how it gets to them. That education is is kind of the learning curve we're still trying to catch up with in agriculture.
It really is. And World Dairy Expo is, we're a nonprofit organization, and our nonprofit status is based off of education. And so that's why one of the things we do here is we invite every fourth grade school class from the Madison and surrounding areas. Yesterday and today they'll be here. We'll bring over 1,500 fourth graders through and tour them and just let them walk into the parlor. We turn the vacuum pump on so they can see what the suction on a liner feels like. Just expose them to a cow, let them see what a bulk tank is, stuff that they're never going to see, and just to see their eyes light up. And even, what the amazing part is, even the teachers, they want to get their finger in the pulsator or in the inflation just as quick as the kids do. So I think educating the teachers is just as important as educating the kids.
Yeah, and it's amazing the technology that's on display here. I emceed an event last night for a Dairy Herd Management magazine talking about, they were recognizing some of the companies with some of the top innovations this past year, and a lot of technology being introduced into the industry. That's on display, showcased here at World Dairy Expo. Well, Mark, thanks a lot again. Great to see it's off to a good start, and have a good rest of the show.
Really appreciate you being here.